Hello everyone and welcome back to Blockbuster Reviews. This is your favorite place for the coolest reviews of the hottest things. The book we're going to be reviewing today is called Numerology, A Key to Inner Self, written by Hans Dekos. Now, some of you may not know what numerology is. Numerology is basically an esoteric art. You may have heard of other esoteric arts such as palmistry, graphology, astrology, or tarot cards. Numerology and all these esoteric arts all have something in common. They're used primarily for three functions. Number one is to determine the personality and the talents and therefore the career prospects of someone. Number two is to determine the viability of a particular marriage partner. And number three is future prediction. Now, numerology is a little bit different from the rest of these things as explained by this book. The difference is that the rest of these esoteric arts that I've mentioned all need for you to be a little bit more adept in understanding spiritual stuff. And therefore, they are more difficult to learn and much more difficult to master. In order to understand how these difficulties play out, let's take a look at this.
In palmistry, underneath the little finger, those vertical lines represent one's children, but they also represent one's healing abilities. So, how do you tell one apart from the other? As a second example, there are horizontal lines under the little finger that represent your marriages, but at the same time, those lines also represent your emotional attachments, such as with a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Take the example of tarot cards. Most people who are experts in it claim that they see visions while doing a reading, and it's like they can see the answer to a question in a movie format. Now, obviously, we don't have these kind of abilities.
So, coming back to the subject of numerology, numerology is a science of numbers, and it is very, very simple to learn, and it is surprisingly accurate. Numerology is going to help you to determine three things, as I mentioned before. Number one is the personality and therefore the talents or the career of someone. Number two is the viability of a marriage partner. And number three is future prediction. Now, what we've determined is that all of these esoteric arts fail when it comes to future prediction because the future has not been written yet. But for the rest of the two things, personality analysis and for determining the viability of a marriage partner, numerology comes up trumps. Let's see how it works.
The most modern form of numerology present today, called the unit system, was developed by the Greek mathematician Pythagoras. Pythagoras suggested that all human beings fall into nine types. These are nine different energies, each with their own characteristics. What we do is convert your date of birth and name into numbers. For example, you were born on the 20th of March 2000. We successively add all digits together till we arrive at a single number. The second is converting your name into a number. For this, simply take the alphabets of your name and convert each into a number, starting with A as 1, B as 2, C as 3, and so on. So, if for example your name is Dan Steve, you successively add all digits together and get the number 9. This was a simple personality analysis in numerology. The interpretation of numbers are given in the book we're reviewing. Now we'll take a look at the marriage compatibility. Once you've calculated the numbers for you and your partner, it's time to match those numbers. Some numbers are compatible with others, while some are not. For example, the number 1 is compatible with the number 5, but not with number 8. As a test case, let's see the compatibility between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, according to numerology. Now, Brad is a number 4 and Angelina is a number 5, according to their dates of birth, and these two numbers are not compatible. That's probably what contributed to their divorce.
So, all in all, this is a fantastic book, and I highly recommend reading this book and learning about numerology because it has a lot of practical application in our lives. We read about self-help literature and about all of these new age philosophies, but this is something that is timeless and it is going to help you all your life. This is guaranteed. I have personally learned numerology through this book and I have applied it on hundreds of cases and I have found it to be very, very accurate. This book is not going to cost you anything. It's going to be available for $10 anywhere in the world or less. Even on Amazon, it's for a very, very cheap price. And it's not going to take anything to read this book, only about a day or two. And the value that you're going to get from that book is going to last you an entire lifetime. I highly recommend that you should go and read this book. I'll give this book a solid 8.8 out of 10. Thank you very much for this review, and next time we'll see you soon.